Philip Morris? Those third quarter earnings beating expectations as the company boosted its profit forecast, but a lower than expected full year outlook on shipment volumes for its heated tobacco products did dampen investor sentiment. The shares down 2.7%. And heated tobacco is one of the areas that Philip Morris has really been trying to diversify in. Philip Morris has been trying, believe it or not, to move beyond cigarettes, traditional cigarettes, into these alternative tobacco products. So if that area is not going great for them, you know, that's why it's drawing some questions here.
Yeah, even as sales of cigarettes, by the way, I'm reading, are apparently holding up better than expected. They declined just about 0.5%, and the street thought it would be a lot worse. And to your point, though, a lot of the focus was on these alternatives, right? And so that seems to be what investors are focused on. Even as nicotine pouches are apparently very strong, the heated tobacco sticks not as strong as some hoped, and that's bringing them down.
Yes, heated tobacco sticks.
Right.
Never thought you would talk about.
No, I had to look that one up, if I'm being totally honest. Yeah, I searched for that one. Let's move on. Shares of VMware diving. Beijing reportedly weighs delaying the approval of Broadcom's acquisition of the cloud software company. This, according to the Financial Times. Delay in approval of that $69 billion deal would come in the wake of Washington's tougher chip controls. So this one was interesting, Julie, because remember we were talking about this. It started off as kind of just a rumor.
Yep.
People weren't sure. Well, maybe this is how China hits back at Biden's new export controls. But now the FT is weighing in here, and that's giving it a little bit more credibility that, yes, the Chinese government really could block this planned mega deal with VMware. Apparently, Chinese regulators now considering whether to delay that. We did recently, remember, we spoke to Stacy Razgon, who is the chip guru over at Bernstein. Stacy still really likes Broadcom. He's a fan, and he's not alone. About 75% of analysts still rate this one a buy.
Right, and he said even if the deal doesn't get completed, which is an important sort of caveat there. So when we're looking at this and we look at the reaction in the two stocks, clearly investors see similarly that VMware has a lot more to lose than does Broadcom if this deal does not go through. Broadcom has been holding fast to its timeline here, saying the deal will close by the end of the month. So, you know, I guess we have to wait until the end of the month to see if all of this other stuff is just chatter and speculation and reporting on possibilities versus reality.
And we should mention, I mean, yes, Broadcom dipping in today's trade, but this one has been a rocket ship.
Yeah.
It's up about 55% this year.
Yes, great point. Sticking with what's going on in China, let's get a check on Baidu as well. Feeling the pressure, several analysts slashing estimates and price targets on the stock ahead of its quarterly results. This coming amid concern over weakness in China's advertising market and the company's cloud business. And we've seen the likes of JD.com suffer similarly here. So a lot of concern over the consumer in China, about advertising demand in China and what's going to happen. The company is set to report, unclear exactly when, sometime in November. But clearly, we're seeing a lot of analysts sort of brace themselves for those numbers.
Yeah, it looks so. The street is definitely, they're busy cutting both estimates and targets. It's weakness in the Chinese ad market they're worried about. They're clearly worried about the cloud business as well. For example, J.P. Morgan, and listen, they're still overweight the name, but they did tell clients Baidu is dealing with downside risks. They call it a weak Chinese e-commerce sector. They cut their target to 185.
Yeah, it is interesting that a lot of this is indeed target cuts, but not downgrades.
Yeah.
To your point, a
Right.
lot of these analysts I'm looking at, it's not just JP Morgan, HSBC is still a buy on the
Yep.
stock, Citi is still a buy, but they are cutting those price targets. So we'll see what ends up happening.
We'll watch it.